Oh man, that stinks. What kind of person would have pits that stink that bad? Well, I know something I could do. In today's video, I'm playing Plague Inc. Evolved, and we're gonna give people stinky armpits. If you guys are excited for this video, then leave a like and let's get right into the gameplay. Here it is, our first virus. And as you can see on the side, we've got a bit of a genetic code that helps modify this virus's mutation over time. Now we're gonna find out a really cool name for our plague. Stinky pits. Stinky pits. So we're gonna start giving people stinky pits. All right, now we're in the world map, and we haven't actually done this with a virus before. We've done it with bacteria, but this is our first time trying to do stinky pits. So let us start somewhere. Where do you think we should start? We could start in Brazil. That's South America. We could always go over here on the eastern side of the globe, where I believe it would be a little bit easier for us to manage. Egypt's got a lot of exports, so that could work too. Ooh, well, we could always start in Australia. It doesn't look like it would spread much there, though. There's only 23 million people in Australia, but yet we have these bigger populations and denser ones over in these areas. Stinky pits began infecting India. All right, so we started in India, and that's where people are going to have stinky pits. It's a virus, and this means it can randomly mutate rapidly and can be hard to control. Oh, wow. So it is going to be a trickier game trying to get stinky pits spread across the globe, because we're going to have to spend DNA points in order to get rid of mutations that happen on them, which we shouldn't be worrying about too fast, too furious. Oh, look at that. We got a celebration. That's only because we just started out, and we're only getting 50 people infected with stinky pits. And it's going to take some time until we start seeing bigger stinky pits numbers here. You know, people are gonna start not using deodorant or taking a shower. They're just gonna be reeking of stink. Already, stinky pits has mutated and developed a nausea symptom, so people are not gonna like the smell of those pits. They're gonna make them feel like they're about to vomit, but they're not vomiting just yet. They're just feeling sick, you know, a little queasy, nauseous. Let's actually look at our disease right now. See, it's already got just one symptom, but we should probably look at the way that it is spreading. So let's get it to spread through the air, because you know stinkiness does do that pretty easily. Increase the random mutations. I don't think we should do that just yet. We should just try and get that resistance up for other areas once we start spreading it across the globe. Because once stinky pits start getting from just India and all the way to the Canadian borders or the United States or anywhere in South America, then we'll be able to see some really big work heading here, and then we can start working on those symptoms of stinky pits. It's just going to be a lot to handle, since stinky pits itself is just going to keep mutating on its own. Like, how am I supposed to control the mutations if they're just going to keep doing it randomly? Get those DNA points. The higher we save up our points, the better we'll look at future when it comes to keeping stinky pits spreading. Now you're getting a mutation of rat. Okay, so now they have a rash mutating on my stinky pits. My stinky pits have a rash mutation. You know what? That's bad. What are they doing? Trying to itch at their pits because they stink? That wouldn't make any sense. They're just gonna make their fingers stinky. Stinky fingers. We only have 500,000 people infected right now, so we're not too busy on how much this world could smell. It's only a bit stinky in the grand scheme of things, because we only have 1 million, almost 2 million people with stinky pits right now. And we got another mutation. Stinky pits has mutated and developed the cyst symptom. So now it's a bit more spreadable through cysts. Ew, stinky pit cysts. That must stink. That must be so gross. Oh man. But we did just get another country added to the list. Pakistan just started getting stinky pits of their own. And we just got China, some stinky pits up in China now too. It looks like it's doing well, and we have a lot of DNA points to use. We can just keep holding on to them for the time being, because I do see that it's already spreading to other parts of the world. So stinky pits is definitely able to spread at its own rate, but it can be a little bit better just if we focus on the heat resistance as well as cold resistance, and maybe a bit of drug resistance. Look at all those stinky pits. We just got stinky pits all the way in the UK. What are you guys doing in there? Oh, smells like tea and biscuits. It doesn't really stink much, does it? But you know what? Now everyone's accustomed to those smells. Oh, and somebody somebody has just discovered stinky pits in India. Now they're gonna start a small investigation on how they can control that, or at least keep it contained, which means we're gonna have to start furthering our development of stinky pits. We've already got 2 of them as airway and 1 of them as water, and it just mutated to give them insomnia. Insomnia is gonna make them, all, sleepless. They're not gonna be able to sleep. They won't be able to focus hard enough. They're actually going to have some issues. Upgrade lets ships be infected again. The water transmission upgrade lets stinky pits survive the new cleaning techniques on ships and spread between countries again. Awesome! So now our stinky pits can go through the water and still be stinky. And it looks like our transmissions are getting a little bit better, going from other countries to countries and actually getting to the western side of the world. That's perfect because they are so untouched right now. We just landed 1 plane in the United States, so now the west coast has finally been infected. That's perfect. Where's this boat going? It's going all the way to a place it's already been. That's no problem. I need to find a way for it to transmit a little bit more towards Greenland, because Greenland is the less stinkiest place I know. I mean, some of these places still haven't stank yet, but I know that they will stink. They will all stink eventually. Look how many countries just started stinking. Hypersensitivity symptoms mutated. So stinky pits has mutated and developed a hypersensitivity symptom without using DNA points. So we're still getting some pretty good mutations on our stinky pits, but we're gonna have to focus on making sure that it is still spreadable before we just start, getting rid of people with stinky pits here. Everyone's got to have stinky pits. Everyone has stinky pits. Oh, and plenty of countries are going back and forth and getting themselves stanked up. Stop getting so stinky, guys. Jeez, I can smell you from the screen. Woo! Woo-wee! That is some potent scent. Wow, you guys stink. But it is part of the mutations, as well as it is part of trying to get stinky pits to conquer the world, because everyone's gonna want stinky pits. If one person's got stinky pits, then you all should have stinky pits. Ooh, and Stinky Pits has just mutated again to give the abscess, but they just started researching a cure for stinky pits. Probably deodorant, now that you think about it. And that doesn't seem good for us. So what we're gonna do is we're going to try and get our mutations to slow down a bit, as well as keep science from figuring out ways to protect themselves from stinky pits, because this will help us in the long run. Oh no, look at that blue plane. I'm gonna have to stop that blue plane once it reaches. Get that science out of here. Okay, so that plane is now stuck over there at Iceland. I don't believe they'll be sending out a new plane anytime soon, or at least they shouldn't. They just turned off their planes. See, they are no longer sending out planes, as well as no longer bringing in planes, so there's no way they can do their science anymore. And we keep getting new mutations on our stinky pits. What the heck are these pits stinking so bad for? Oh, and we just got the first confirmed death from stinky pits. Did somebody just huff too much pit? They probably just took in a bunch of that stank and they were just like, know what? I like that. That's really good stink. No, it's so weird and gross. No, I don't have the entire map covered here. So now people are gonna be vomiting up from all these stinky, stinky pits. Wear deodorant or at least shower. Come on, people. But it's all right. We're getting a bit of this spread everywhere, and it's doing wonders because we just crossed the 6 billion mark. And once we get the 7 billion mark, then we can start flipping the switch and doing a little bit more with our stinky pits. We just got ourselves Greenland as well, which was like the last place I needed to worry about. And they're only at 25% on their research. So we just have to wait and see if we can get this to go a little bit further. Okay, let's get ourselves some genetic hardening as well as genetic reshuffle, because that's gonna help us continue to spread as well as conquer with our stinky pits infection, with our virus that we have going on here in Plague Inc. Look at Canada. Canada was for a moment clear, and now it's all covered in stinky pits. It smells up there. And we just got the diarrhea symptom, which means it's really gonna stink. These stinky stink pits are gonna be so bad. Oh my goodness. Now that they keep doing research though, we're gonna have to slow it down as much as we can as we approach the 7 billion mark on the globe. Once we start getting everyone with some stinky pits, then we'll be able to say that we can stop this. We can stop this world cure from stinking pits. Okay, everyone's gonna have stinking pits from this. Everyone stinks, or at least their pits can. So we should definitely just try our best to keep them from keeping their pits smelling nice here. Looks like Sweden's like the one place having the best time keeping themselves clean from stinky pits. Why, you guys just don't smell in Sweden? You guys probably smell nicer, don't they? Oh, and we just got a new mutation for comas. Whoa, the stinky pits are gonna be putting you in a coma? Just right to sleep. You just get one whiff and just go out like that. All right, but Sweden is slowly and surely getting stinky pits everywhere, and that's perfect, because now what we can start doing is we can start looking at more symptoms here. And what are some of the symptoms that we could build from stinky pits? Ooh, total organ failure. Can you imagine smelling somebody's pits and it just immediately putting you out? Just like, nope, not handling that. Never gonna handle that. Oh my goodness. Let's just get dysentery and let's get paralysis, because I think that will do well. And oh, a bit of insanity here. Now people are going to be smelling pits and going insane by how much it stinks. And for a free mutation, we just got total organ failure. Oh my. These rates are going up high when it comes to stinky pits here. Oh my goodness. We infected most of the world, if not all of it. And the death toll rate is skyrocketing from all of this stench. Ugh, it smells bad. Somebody's got to put on deodorant, for real. But this is some stinky stuff, guys. New Zealand is the first to fall into anarchy due to stinky pits. Stinky pits are making people go insane. There's nobody's even able to stay sane from all this stench. Get rid of that science here. Let's actually go back and let's look at our transmissions here, because I don't think it's actually transmitting to everyone just yet. And let's also look at getting them a bit of something that could slow them down. What's something that could slow them down here? Paranoia, that works, and inflammation. I just have like 117 DNA points that I can use on anything. And it looks like we have a death toll rate higher than the amount of people infected with stinky pits. So there's more people who have died from stinky pits than are actually infected with stinky pits. An experimental cure for stinky pits has been found to be 100% lethal in humans. Okay, so it looks like they were trying to cure people for stinky pits, but they were actually doing harm towards them. How dare they? You guys just give them some deodorant, you know? Tell them to take a shower. I feel like that would do just enough. But right now we're looking at a bit too many people dying from the infection, but not too many people actually being able to spread the infection. So some people might live with no stinky pits, because right now we're looking at a really small population of the world, and a lot of them are no longer infected. As of right now, was only 3 people, 1 person infected, and the rest of the world is barely working. Oh no! Stinky pits! You didn't work! It killed all of its hosts, and healthy people survived. Even though it was a very small portion, people were able to outlive stinky pits. Oh, we outstank most of the world, but we got some survivors who weren't affected by any of the stinkiness from my stinky pits. If you guys are enjoying this series, then leave a like on this video. Also, click on that subscribe button if you want to watch more videos when they show up on my channel. Like this one in the corner. It just showed up and, ooh, it does not smell bad. It actually smells pretty good. If you want to check it out, all you need to do is tap or click on it and it'll take you right there. You should try tapping it with your nose. See if you can smell it before you go.